Also, how do you follow the bride and groom? But I'll try. So I'm going to start by saying hello to Michelle's side of the family, because I haven't met a lot of you before. But one thing that you should know about me is that I edit cookbooks for a living. That will make sense in a minute. So I thought, in very cheesy wedding fashion, and cheesy being a key word considering Dad has famously hated cheese for my entire life. Although he took us for lunch at dinner at Banana Tree a couple of weeks ago and told me that he's recently fallen in love with halloumi. So, interesting stuff from Stu over there. But I thought, all in all today, I would give you the recipe for Dad and Michelle's marriage. So, I didn't really know where to start. When you start with editing a recipe at work, you kind of have to put it into certain categories. And I thought, maybe a cocktail? But they can both be massive lightweights, no offense. I feel like maybe you might see a bit of that later, depending on how the evening goes. But I think they'll both agree with me. But mainly because food was a big thing with us over lockdown, when we kind of, I think, got to know each other, especially Michelle and I properly. I'd go for like a proper dish, you know? So over lockdown we had themed food nights. In lockdown number 3 we had Max with us and we did Pizza Pilgrims, and we had tapas night, and we had a great time. But we also had a cooking rota, and we had a lot of cottage pie and tiramisu, many a stir fry, and of course every Wednesday Louisa's signature pasta bake. I could be really savage here and suggest a jacket potato recipe, because that did seem to be Dad's piece de resistance for several long weeks. But Michelle and Dad are more than that. If anything, they're a brunch dish or a roast dinner, something with a fair bit to bring to the table and with components that complement one another. And watching them both and how happy they make one another makes me really, really happy as well. I was talking to Maddie earlier while we were having our starters about how lovely it is to find someone in life that makes you feel safe, but also excited, and also comfortable and happy overall. And I think seeing how happy you two are today makes me really happy, and I think I can probably say the same for everyone in this room. Kind of makes you value all the love you have in your life, you know, in any respect, which is what weddings are all about. So that's really nice to see. So what are they bringing to the table? So I was going to start with their job descriptions and try and spin something on that. But to be honest with you, my dad has told me what he does for a living at least 55 times in the course of my life, and I still couldn't tell you. So I think we'll start with a good kilogram or so of very eclectic music taste. You might hear from David later about Dad and his ABBA obsession, particularly his love for the song "Gimme, Gimme, Gimme a Man After Midnight." But the Alexa at my dad's house in Ashton has been working overtime for these two, particularly over lockdown. And some of my most vivid memories from that period of time are being woken up at 7:30 in the morning to Dad demanding something obscure, particularly him saying, "Alexa, play Everyone Loves a Train in the Distance," to which she would respond, "Sorry, I don't know that one." I think alongside that we'll add a pinch of Max and a pinch of Fraser, and a sprinkling of Em and Lou, especially because everyone knows that girls are made of sugar, spice and everything nice, which is obviously an essential in a recipe. A strong serving of warmth, compassion and kindness. Also a bountiful serving of Ruby, because we all know that she's Dad's favourite child. Perhaps most importantly, and don't miss this key ingredient out, Michelle's tolerance for Dad's awful jokes. You can fry or simmer this or cook it however you like, but you end up with a warming and balanced serving of Stuart and Michelle. This recipe can be adapted for wherever you are, whether it be Chiswick, the Amalfi Coast, or most glamorous of all, the scenic delights of Milton Keynes. It's a recipe that will stand the test of time until it's a classic. And I would wish my dad and Michelle, with all of their various ingredients, the most warm and wonderful future. But they'll have that no matter how well anyone wishes them today, because they built that for themselves. So for now, before we enjoy some cake and listen to ABBA's "Gimme, Gimme, Gimme a Man After Midnight" on a continuous loop, all I really want to say is that I'm glad that they found each other. And like Michelle said with chalk and cheese earlier, I was going to liken them to cheese and crackers. But Dad doesn't eat cheese and Michelle doesn't eat gluten, so I think maybe think of them as any food pairing that takes your fancy. But it's so wonderful to celebrate them today, to celebrate my two new brothers, who to be honest have felt like family to me from the moment we met, and to say hello to all the new people that we're welcoming in. Any good recipe will taste better with a glass of wine, whether it's in the food or not. So let's all cheers to Dan and Michelle. I hope your life together will be extremely advantageous.